Ty, I get having an itch to scratch, honey, but you might need to slow down on the Coochie Chronicles and give the streets, as well as your box, a chance to rest and your reputation a chance to recover. Camille and Ian are meant to be, well, it seems. And Angie, yeah, we're going to put you on a sex sabbatical as well. What's good, y'all? It's your good sis, Erica Vane, coming to you right here on Erica Vane TV with another Harlem video. In this video, I am breaking down season 2, episode number 2. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on your bell notification as I break down Harlem. Each new episode, I give a new video breakdown each week. 2 new episodes are dropping every Friday on Amazon Prime for the next 4 weeks. You don't want to miss out, so hit the subscribe button, turn on your bell notification so that you are alerted the moment that the video goes live. Also, if you haven't checked out Harlem, then you need to. I'm telling you, you're missing out on some funny, good, dope ass writing, performances, just all around greatness. It's giving cinematic glory, visually stunning, like clicking on all cylinders. You missing out on it, and I got it linked in the description box down below if you need an easy way to make your way over to Amazon Prime and watch it. You got Amazon Prime, so you can go ahead and watch it. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this episode. Camille, I'm gonna make it a simple yes or no. Do you want me to stay? Y'all, this is what Jameson says, because you know we pick up exactly where we left off. The first episode was left on a cliffhanger with Camille being confronted by Jameson pretty much as he's revealing to her, like, yo, I'm not going to Chicago. I'm staying here for us. Let's pop champagne. She's like, well... Her lack of response to that yes or no question speaks volumes, of course, and then also reintroduces what Camille's theme has been in this little era of her life, and specifically in this episode, as she is avoiding confrontation as best she can because she don't like it, avoiding owning up to her actions, specifically the actions that she feels like make her seem or look like a bad person, because Lord forbid you actually have a moment of toxicity. Or you act out of human emotion and go after the thing that you want, and sometimes people get hurt in the meantime, in between time. I mean, Lord forbid, it happens, Camille girl. I'm gonna need you to go ahead and get over it and get to it, because it happens. My initial criticism, though, of Ian being MIA in the first episode is pretty much addressed immediately, because he surprises Camille at her lecture and lets her, as well as us, know exactly where he stands and what he wants. But their little beautiful and exciting foray into their future relationship hits a pretty much immediate stop, seemingly. When they get back to Camille's apartment, and Ian starts to get his feelings about Camille not revealing to Jameson that her and Ian are actually back together, which is why they needed to break up. And for me, it made sense when Camille explained why she didn't feel the need to further explain to Jameson all the happenings that put them on the road to their relationship demise. But by the end of the episode, and then her apology to Ian, that definitely did make more sense. So I kind of understood better what Ian might have been thinking and feeling. Because personally, I was just like, sir, why does it matter? The breakup happened, regardless of if he knows exactly why the breakup happened or not. Like, this is just giving you and your ego, and maybe you want to be able to rub it in over this other man. And it's like, sir, if that's what you wanted to do, then you should have been up here last night when I had to deal with this confrontation. You should have been standing beside me talking about something, my woman, my woman, my woman, because no. But in her apology to Ian at the end of the episode, she spoke to like not wanting to seem like she wasn't completely forthcoming with Jameson in some weird attempt to like keep the door open for them or have options with him later, but more so because she couldn't bring herself to accept and stand in the idea that she's a bad person and she's hurting this dude that really loved her and was willing to make so many sacrifices for their very new relationship. And this is something that I believe carried over from the previous episode, as what Mira said when she read her for filth outside of Ian's parents' house is still ringing in Camille's ears. And she owned up to her decision and re-quit with Dr. Pruitt in the first episode, but it's not until this episode that she's finally arriving at a place where she's like, yes, I kissed a woman's fiance the night before their wedding. I am that girl, and maybe I'm trash, but I don't want to be trash moving forward. So here we are. Let me just go ahead and say that I thoroughly enjoyed Camille and Ian's dialogue in this episode. Like, it is so beautifully and authentically written. I found myself going to specific moments in my life where certain feelings came up within a specific relationship. And I'm like kind of really obsessed. I've already rewatched this episode once and I'm probably going to do it again, but specifically for the Ian and Camille scenes, because the dialogue is just so A1 as they're both exploring their actions, how to affect other people around them, how it's affecting them and their relationship moving forward. But then also like subtly spoke to or lay the groundwork for what I think are going to be things that present themselves as issues that they're going to have to overcome within their relationship moving forward. Camille clearly does not handle confrontation well, but desperately wants this relationship to work out. So she's throughout this episode pursuing Ian and like not going to let them go longer than 24 hours without speaking. Okay, cool. But she's heavily in a space of like, oh, I don't want to ever seem like a bad person. So she's not necessarily owning up to certain decisions. And for me, Ian is showing a little bit of his insecurity and how long it took him to atone and own up for like, yo, he knew 6 months ago that he should not marry Mira, but he was still going to do it. And instead of actually staying and talking out what was going on and his perception or how he felt about Camille, the Jameson breakup, and whatever else is surrounding this relationship or the situation, he decides to leave, say he gonna hit her back, and then don't actually hit her back. And it's just like, sir, I'm gonna need you to be able to use your words a little bit better. I mean, by the end of the episode, you're using them beautifully, which is great. I loved it. Again, dialogue A1. But you should have led with that, sir. And specifically because the first conversation that they had when they get back to Camille's apartment, I felt like he was really kind of gaslighting her at worst and like allowing himself to be a part of the victim troop at best. He literally says, who the hell else showed up and said that we had to be together? As if he didn't also say that they had to be together. He did not actually kiss her back or confirm any of the things that she was feeling or know that he had certain feelings from 6 months ago. She literally looks at him and is like, yo, you're not going to put this all back on me as if I'm the one who just did all this thing. Like we didn't do this together. And he just basically was like, yeah, you did. And now I ain't going to talk about it no more. I'm out. Yeah, that's not going to work in our relationship moving forward, especially if y'all are on the fast track to marriage as well. Again, Ian, I'm going to need you to learn to use your words, my brother. Now, my favorite line of Ian's in this episode, because by the end, he is using his words, y'all, so I'm going to go ahead and give him credit for that. But he says, everybody has that one person they will blow their lives up for. For me, that's you. And I'm like, oh. Yo, let me have that. Don't point out how toxic it could possibly be depending on if the relationship is toxic. I absolutely love that line. Actually, let me go ahead and tell y'all a couple of other lines that I just absolutely adored. Camille responding that I don't want to be responsible for a big life thing to Jameson as the way to like let him down easy or like not break up with him, but like put a stop to what they had going on was utter brilliance in the writing. Jameson and his confrontation to Camille when he brings the stuff over, talking about not only did I get dumped, but I feel stupid. Well, go ahead and say what's on your chest and what's on your heart. I appreciate that because in my experience, a lot of men don't actually express fully what they're thinking and feeling. And Camille, I thought that this line was so dope when she said, I would like to think that I'm a really good person. Literally sums up her theme of this episode, or the first 2 episodes, I guess, of this season, and like really speaks to like what's motivating her, what's actually like what she's actually thinking, and what's gonna be her contention. Because guess what? Sometimes we don't do good things even if we are good people. So girl, you can be a good person and make really, really bad decisions, which is something that she's learning. Make mistakes, hurt people, do things. We are all humans and it happens. But I really, really love that line. And another line that I love for Camille when the whole apology thing is happening with Ian in the restaurant, she says, you are a man I want to be my best for, the one that has seen me at my worst. And I'm like, yes, come on, meant to be. Okay, last one. Because again, I really, not even just Camille and Ian, when I think about it, I took a lot of notes about the dialogue in this episode. But Quinn, Quinn, when she said, Angie, why won't anyone love me? My heart broke for her. So let's keep talking about the episode so that we can go ahead and get into that. After one date and sex session with Isabela, Quinn is ready to commit and settle down, which turns out to be just as bad as it sounds by the end of the episode, because it's Isabela who's having to pump the brakes on their little relationship, air quotes, and remind Quinn how she's about to need to really focus on her campaign and wants to keep things light and casual. But this hits Quinn heavy and hard. And something about her response feels overly dramatic and unnecessary to me. However, that line that she gives to Angie at the end sums up exactly where she is emotionally and mentally. So by the time that we arrive at that part, I'm like, okay, I have a little bit more empathy for Quinn, but I struggle with how serious and how final she kind of carried this conversation with Isabel, who just wanted to, like, after they already went to dinner, go and focus on prepping for the events that she had the next day, because she does have a job, girl. She's not running a boutique that might kind of be struggling and got plenty of time on her hands, and an heiress at that. Like, I feel like Quinn, and I get it. So, like, let me preface this with this. I get it for what her specific struggle is with love, and I'm going to talk about that. But in this moment where Isabela's like, yo, I'm just going to go home and I'm going to prep for my next day or whatever, and she's taking it like, girl, are you mad at me? Oh, what's going on? And like, now it's like this whole big old breakup moment. It's like, so is it that y'all have to be in a relationship and almost married now, or nothing? Because why can't you just hang out with her? Why can't you just enjoy your time with her? Why can't y'all just casually date as you have done with other people, like you have done with Shawn? Like, I didn't see you trying to throw the marriage or like relationship cuffs on Shawn so quickly. So like, what is it about Isabela? And honestly, I'm reminded in this episode with her dialogue and disclosure to Angie later on exactly what it is, of like Quinn's deep desire to be loved, and she needs it now, and she needs it in a way that she imagines it, specifically with romantic love. And it sucks because she is literally surrounded by tons of support and love, specifically within their little girl group, but because she has a lack mentality, I think, in reference to romantic love, she's not able to really fully relish in how full her life currently is. And I think that she's going to continue to struggle until she gets to a place where she better quantifies the love that she already has versus pedestalizing this idyllic like relationship partner love. Not to say that she has to relegate herself to like never being in a relationship and always being single, but this needy energy, I get it now. Like, I get how she's saying like, oh, she's running people off. This could be a contributing factor to running people off, because girl, you literally need people to be all in with you and make you their priority from the damn jump. Like, you and Isabela just had a date a day ago. Now are going on y'all second date, and you're already wanting to be all consuming in her life and the top priorities if she don't have anything else going on in this highly unrealistic and too high of expectations, if you ask me, for something so new, especially if y'all didn't both go into it like, yes, I'm looking for a serious relationship and that's all I do from the jump. My heart went out to Quinn in this episode, but I also wanted her to just calm her ass down. Calm your coochie, girl, because it's okay. You are actually loved. You are actually desired. And I think because things aren't manifesting how she expects them to, like they literally don't look how she expects them to, she's negating the fact that there's still some semblance of life in her romantic life. There's still hope and opportunity in that space, but she's completely writing it off because it's not exactly what she wants in the moment that she wants, the way she wants it to look. Does that make sense? Oh, and I think freaking Angie summed it up perfectly. Again, the dialogue in this episode was A1. She says to the girls before Quinn gets to like the lunch with them, she's like, it's like Quinn's sexuality and her relationship thirst finally aligned. I said, well, damn, hit the nail on the head. Now, while Quinn is desperately wanting to get into something serious and real and be all types of partnered up, Ty is still running these whole streets, doing her whole thing, building up her whole facts, except for the fact that she's being outed on a website called shebetoxic.com with all her past exploits, feeling used and abused by this girl and running through the experiences on the interwebs, sullying her reputation. Now, this episode, she spends a good portion of it complaining about these very true accounts that she actually admitted to being true being outlined online, trying to get it taken down, failing at getting taken down, and then redirecting her energy to going after the girl who was one spot above her and running through more women and doing more shady dealings when it comes to sex exploits than her, deciding to add this girl to her roster or put them in a place of like sexual rendezvous because they both don't get attached, because they both kind of operate the same way, and it seems like a match made in heaven, so that Ty can get these itches scratched while she still works on her lack of intimacy and where she's at in reference to finding no one. Ty girl, have your fun, but also it might be time to just go on a little sex sabbatical, baby, because your little cooter, it seems to be getting you in a little bit more trouble than you can actually handle. I need you to take a second, journal, get a therapist, and process a little bit, because while you might be having amazing sex with Zoe, this also feels like it's not going to end well. And it's not just because Brandon decides to waltz his ass up into your apartment by the end of the episode like, baby, I'm back again. Ty's story is going to be very interesting to watch throughout this season. And last but certainly not least, Angie. Mama's luck is seemingly running out. Y'all know she was supposed to be so lucky because all she needed to do was sleep with the finest man in New York, and she feel like she did that, and she made sure that she did that because she did the roommate and the roommate's roommate and then whoever else, and then she was also looking for their daddies. Child, Angie is a mess, but I absolutely love the character. She's so colorful, and again, she's, to me, is still distracting herself from what is going on in her life, and I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of her story this season, because in the trailer for the season, we get to see her actually go back home, talk to her brothers about not actually ever making it, and will it work out for her, and all the notes that she get, and I'm like, okay, we about to get to the nitty gritty and dive deeper than her sex exploits and her scratching a couple itches, but also finding fulfillment within her life. But in this episode, it's a good amount of sex, because her luck seemingly runs out as her little fifth scratch off doesn't give her any type of winnings. She thinks that she's on a winning streak, but it actually leads to her meeting this buff, rich, miniature penis having man in the bodega. Yes, I said it, y'all. I'm just calling the thing a thing. And she thinks that she can suffer an orgasmless life because of his big house and his hefty finances. But then when he decides to suggest that she needs a vaginal rejuvenation versus owning up to his own lacking in the department downstairs, she decides to read him for filth and then exit stage left. Angie, the red flag should have been how he was talking about his penis from the very jump. But girl, you seen that big house, the beautiful garden and all that, and I get how you got a little bit starstruck by all the finances. And then Quinn was cozying up to Isabela, and it seemed like you was going to get ushered right on out of her house and you needed some soft place to land. But clearly he wasn't it. All right, y'all, those are my thoughts and breakdown for episode 2 from season 2 of Amazon Prime's Harlem. Let me know what you thought about the episode in the comment section down below. Let me know any predictions or theories that you have as well in the comment section down below. Hit the like button because you made it all the way to the end of the video, so I believe that you liked the video. And I'm headed to the comment section right now so we can keep the conversation going. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one.